I guess a general question is, do you guys know who John F. Trent is?
Yeah, that's the you guys' president, right? The one who got shot.
That
sadly.
sounds right. That sounds right.
Yeah,
No.
he freed the bricks.
Yeah.
He did,
he was the brick emancipator. I don't know.
Yeah, he gave them all to dimes. So
Yeah, exactly. Like now they can marry dimes, and I'm telling you, it's a problem. Anyway.
Yeah, that is a serious issue. Listen, I'm all for civil rights, but this bricks and dimes cross contamination crap, I'm not for it. I'm not.
Oh, so President JFT was just a wokey, or is that what you're saying?
Yeah, he is unbelievably woke. It's ridiculous. Now, what's interesting about John F. Trent is that this is somebody who I bet you lots of people don't know who he is, but he is behind.
You know what he's behind. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, here's part of how they get their stuff out there, because I have the trailer for his channel here load up, and we'll see how it's kind of generic.
So I really wish we had cut off the beginning part so that we could keep it a surprise.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. But yeah.
But if you probably are aware of bounding into comics to some degree, right? Everybody should be. As I've historically called them, shitting into diapers, which I think is accurate to their attitude about things.
But I mean, so far what we've seen through this trailer, I have outside of just my initial dislike of bounding into comics, which was at the beginning. For the most part, this hasn't been anything that I would necessarily be like, oh, I'm offended by this. This is just generic stuff. Here's superhero action fandom stuff, and they're saying astonishing, fantastic. It's okay.
Pretty. I mean, honestly, if this was not bounding into comics and it was just some channel and this was their trailer, I'd be like, it's kind of lame. I don't know if I'm they don't
it's
seem
kind
very
of generic, but I won't be like, oh, fuck this guy. I won't be
yeah.
It's also very long for a trailer. I think that's intro.
Very long for a trailer that's not saying anything yet. No,
I had a 5-minute trailer on my channel at one point, Turf. You can fuck off, okay?
Yeah, no,
tired of your bullshit.
You also make fucking 10-minute segments before the stream starts. I mean, I love them.
It's to promote and it's to let people get here, show up so they don't miss stuff.
And honestly, they're better edited than anything I've ever done on my channel. So
nah, that's not true.
It is though.
My trailer is my 15-minute mission statement, so I can't say too much.
Same. It used to be my Brie Larson video, but now I've changed it to the mission statement.
Me too.
Nice.
Nice.
Well, I mean, that kind of...
Let's just suck each other's dicks, right?
Lol. Speaking of the mission statement, that's what the point we make in it is this, right? That these things, considering the stuff that they talk about, and it's not just every once in a while they're making a kind of politically motivated article or whatever. No, it's all the time. That's all they do. And yet the trailer is this, and the same thing goes for the description on their YouTube channel. They're hiding their power levels really, really bad, significantly.
Don't they have something in this trailer that's a little bit of a hint?
Yes.
There we go.
I mean, it might as well be.
God, he controls all things. Yeah, no, most of this might as well be the non-woke perspectives is the closest thing we get to anything that they're about. Because so far, this has just been comic book shit, and it's okay, fine. But yeah, it's this is legit, just gateway shit. Just oh, we're just gonna talk about comic books. We're comic book news.
Well, so even saying non-woke perspectives is quite a downplay of what they really are. And holy shit. By the way, there's Taylor Talks Comics. He's awesome. Subscribe to him. It's in the description. And that's not even true. I mean, I guess if you count the fact that articles exist on the website all the time, then maybe. But
so for John Trent, I did go through a couple of interviews, and I got a couple clips I thought were interesting. Here's one that kind of where he talks about himself. And I think it's also worth noting, like, these clips, I think they're going to be interesting to talk about, but we aren't even going to get to, like, the really bad stuff till we get to the articles.
Stuff like Top Gun Maverick, that's kind of what's the word? An exception rather than the rule. Because you can just look at all the movies that were released last year. How many of them were just like absolutely like woke disasters, and no one went and saw them?
Yeah, and
so I'm totally black-pilled on the entertainment industry. I don't see that there's any real shift away. I mean, you have certain, like, again, you have exceptions like maybe Eric July, Top Gun Maverick, whatever the Daily Wire is doing with some of their stuff with Gina Carano, Terror on the Prairie. But overall,
I think it's interesting to clump stuff with like Terror on the Prairie and Isom along with fucking Top Gun Maverick. It's like, what?
Yes, the great big non-woke successes.
You want to talk about the range of what success apparently is, right? Like you got $800 and then like what, $1.5 billion or some shit.
Yeah.
It goes $800 to like $1 million to $1 billion. So
listen, the successful numbers are like $800, $4 billion, or $4 million, or $1.5 billion. If you have to hit one of those three to be considered successful. If you're anywhere in the middle, you're a failure.
Well, yeah, and
there it is.
It hurts. It hurts.
I just realized I have access to all of these now.
Yes, you have control.
I promise I'm not gonna.
I have small dick energy.
We know that, Turf. We know.
Yeah. I just felt like I needed to say it. All right.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to.
Industry,
Fuck.
Definitely seems to be captured with pushing that message, and I don't see them changing anytime soon whatsoever. Now, as far as like the overall outlook at the world, like I'm totally white-pilled. I'm a Christian. Like, I mean, Christ died for our sins and conquered death.
Yeah, we're gonna get into the Christian stuff too, by the way.
He sounds so unsure of everything he says.
Well, that's the thing. Like he does have his own YouTube channel, which we pulled the trailer from. But it's like he's not a high energy guy. Like I wouldn't even consider myself a particularly good on-air personality, but like I blow him out of the water. I mean,
I agree.
I agree as well. But yeah.
No, I mean, I don't think any of us are like ready for prime time, right? But like this is
fuck no. It just seems like a sterilized Ryan Kinnell. That's what he seems like to me.
Yes,
dude.
Yes,
isn't that what we
described?
That's what we said, right, Bob? Isn't that exactly what we said?
Yeah.
Oh, another dick right.
White-pilled on that. Like you just got to stay true to your faith, keep working and keep evangelizing and everything like that. And you'll eventually change the culture. So I'm white-pilled in that sense. But at this but I'm black-pilled on like the entertainment industry. These people they make the same decisions over and over and over again. I don't.
All right, wait. I just need some context. What is white pill and black pill now? Because I've gotten used to like red pill and blue pill. But
so black pill is that you are just nihilistic about the possibility of things getting better. You can't no point in even trying. You're just like, I give up. Everything is fucked, and there's no and white pill is the opposite of that.
Cool. Thank you.
I feel like I come across this argument fairly often that essentially he makes, or it's a weird one. It'll be good for us to tackle because
there's probably something to that's probably why I like it. And I also like that he's like a pulpy character. He's hiding the shadows. He's got like a network.
Real quick, he's talked about how his favorite comic book character is the Shadow.
And he's very there is that black and white, right and wrong, which I obviously believe that exists, despite our modern world trying to create everything as gray. And there is like kind of this no morality kind of thing, right and wrong doesn't exist.
That's not true.
Ridiculous.
So that's just
I agree.
So I kind of like that too.
No, that's why I wanted to cover this, because it's so fucking weird. Like the idea that like people are just good or evil and there's nothing in the middle.
Well, I mean,
fuck.
Right, but there is like he's acting like there's no morality when it's not. That's not it at all. It's just morality is not as fucking simple and idiotic as, you know, what he seems to think it is. And we can look at plenty of the stuff that he says and posts and believes and whatnot, and we can ask ourselves, is that actually moral? Is that good? Is that even in line with what fucking Christ would, you know? Sorry, I didn't mean to say fucking Christ. Effing Christ, you know? Would he be cool with that?
I just think it's a weird argument. Like, it might even explain some of this, the counter arguments I sometimes get. It's this weird thing where it's like, you know, you argue like shades of gray. It's like, no, there's only pure evil. And it's like, I don't even remotely understand how to tackle that argument because it's so detached from reality and how people think and operate. Like literally, like,
well,
dude, I could literally make the argument that Hitler isn't pure evil when he's doing art. I mean, what argument are you making?
yeah, that's a Vosh level thing right there. I'm not going to touch that.
No, it's just a bizarre stance. Yeah.
Like that's the thing. Even Bob, who's like the epitome of like a good person, right? Still fucks my mom every night and makes me watch. Like there's evil in everyone. And
I'm generally a pretty good person too, but I fuck his mom and his dad, and that's like, what am I doing that for? Why? And I make him watch sometimes. That's what am I? Yeah. What's wrong with me?
And he stares at me the whole time. It's just
well, eye contact is required.
I was giving my dad back shots, and he's just like smiling at me. It's kind of weird.
No, everybody does it. It's normal. I don't know why you're acting weird about it now. But no, so John F. Trent, not a great guy. But that's just kind of basic looking at some of the streams, some of the stuff he says. But his articles get a bit fucking intense. This Spider-Verse article, that YouTubers use this article as a source for their video. That's the thing. Like, people are using this website as a source for videos. So many. Almost all people we cover use this guy.
It cannot be stressed enough how, like, pretty much all of them are using this website as proof, right? Like, this is the fucking human centipede cycle of the Ouroboros of bullshit, right? Like, they'll... And I've talked about this before with Ethan Van Sciver, and he's part of with this website as well. So Ethan Van Sciver will say a thing. Like, he'll make a claim on his channel or whatever, some garbage that doesn't have any evidence behind it and is ultimately proven to be, you know, false or whatever. And this website, it's almost like they have notifications on for him, this and Cosmic Book News, and probably Bleeding Fool as well. Those are the three main ones. And they'll immediately write an article about it and act like, here, this Comics Insider made it, you know, says whatever. And then people who don't know any better don't know that this Comics Insider hasn't been inside for over a decade or something. And, you know, it has basically been not over a decade. That's not right. But basically he's been proven as a liar over and over again. And they'll run with it. And people that don't know any better will think that must be true. And then other YouTube channels will then go, Bounding into Comics is reporting that blah, 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 blah. Yeah. And it's just a fucking cycle of bullshit that, man, this is why it's so important to know how to look for primary sources with journalism and with reporting.
Articles like this is what the reality is when a conservative or a person on the right is like, oh, well, you know, like the context, when you talk about a study, right? If you bring up a study and they're like, oh, well, you can find anything on the internet that like I can go on the internet and find studies that support me too. This is what they're talking about, right? Like if you come with studies from like the WHO, you know, or the NHS or a university that has made a meta-analysis on like many different studies around gender affirming care, right? For children or for trans children. But then these people will come with an article that says child mutilation, you know, and then that's what they mean.
Yeah, well,
because
I mean, that's
I see that so often.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's my biggest issue. Like, these guys are almost always by these guys. Pretty much everybody we cover being presented as like serious news. So we have this article, and you know, it's talked about the Protect Trans kids flag in Gwen's room in that 1 second of the trailer, and you're going through here and it's just kind of standard, it's just going over details, And then it takes this turn into going into Christian stuff. Just essentially, like, its source for how this stuff is evil is pure Christian dogma. From there, Bishop Burbage writes, indeed, there's like, what we're talking about, a trailer here, and this is what this guy is writing about. Like, this is his source.
Bishop Burbage writes, indeed, there's ample evidence. What the fuck? Ample evidence
Yeah.
that gender affirmation not only does not resolve a person's struggles, but can also, in fact, exacerbate them. They accept it. Bro, who is this dude?
Yeah, no, this dude, like, this is just a dude he's pulling out. Just like, yeah, no, what is he an expert on trans science? Like,
No, like,
of course not. I mean,
imagine if for my video, right, I was like, yeah, gender affirming care is safe for trans kids, and here's my source, Bob, trans expert, you know?
yeah.
It's just
YouTuber who talks about movies, my source. You know?
yeah, like
No, this is absolutely insane, and this is like I said, these guys are presented as a news source. Here's probably, in my opinion, the most egregious headline he's done. This one, which quite frankly just goes, if you go into this, what this one does is just misgender Nicole Maines, dead name her. It's disgusting what this article does. CW's Flash goes full groomer, pushes multiple objective lies, including trans is beautiful and protect trans kids. I mean, seriously, like, when I read that headline, my visceral reaction is just fuck you.
The only reason you would possibly write an article like this is because you want to fucking harm and kill trans people.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly.
And he wants to talk about good or evil.
Yeah.
Nah, I don't think so. So, like, basically, if you are someone who is watching this, we've got 74 people watching. By the way, hit the like button and subscribe. If you're one of the people that kind of, uses this as a source, or you like see this website and you go, oh, they said that, okay, and that you take it for granted, you need to accept that you are a Christian fascist, like that you are absorbing and agreeing with perspectives strictly, explicitly informed by being an extremist Christian. Like the type of Christian this guy is not even common. It's not even, this is a fringe type of Christianity. So I'm not even insulting Christianity here. I'm talking about fucking extremism.
No, it's I know plenty of Christians, and most Christians are unbelievably nice people. But this is an extreme edge. We're talking about the fringe edges of it, and that's what this guy pushes. And he sells it as news. He sells it as comic book geek news. We saw the trailer. Like, that trailer was fairly generic, almost generic to boredom. And then this is what he pushes behind that trailer.
I've got a few more things we could like article titles we could look at.
Oh, go for it. I know I can come up with a couple more off the top of my head, but yeah.
So this was, start of the year, February. Here's, just
What the fuck?
Ironheart is somehow grooming children. How is that? I mean, we're not going to look at it. And this is not Trent, apparently. This is Jacob Smith. Of course, that could just be like Trent writing under an alias or something. I don't know. I don't have anything to prove that. Just seems kind of made up. Anyway, then there's this one. That somehow, because Karen Gillan was wearing a shirt that didn't accent her boobs in this, or maybe she looks like that in the whole movie. I don't know. That's somehow making her look like a man, and that it's also pushing transgenderism ideology, which isn't a thing. Like, shouldn't have to say this maybe, but like transgenderism, transgender ideology, these are not real terms. It's those words are meant to undermine trans people being human beings who, anyway. And there's that one, of course. Then there's Vito being pretty based, talking about this shit. So yeah, just here's RK Outpost using the article. And then here's, of course, they talked about Willow as if it's normalizing sodomy. And I'm pretty sure they didn't normalize sodomy.
Yeah.
In it.
I'm pretty sure there's no one like doing sodomy.
I thought the episode that was nonstop sodomy was a bit much, but No,
Listen, I support gay rights, okay, but that episode was
there's
like-
literally just a lesbian couple in that series, and that's it. That is it.
I thought there was gay couple too, like men, but I don't know. I didn't watch it. So this is the Christianity that this guy ascribes to. These are just some tweets that I pulled from. He's a whole lot of them. Look at his name on there is on Twitter is Rosary Warrior John F. Trent. Tolerance is an attitude of reasoned patience toward evil, a forbearance that restrains us from showing anger or inflicting punishment. Tolerance applies only to persons, never to truth. Tolerance applies to the erring, intolerance to the error. Like, I mean, it's the rest of it's fucking garbage nonsense. But that first statement is like, what? What? If so you want to talk about good and evil? He's got it all flipped around, and this guy looks literally like fucking Satan. I'm sorry, but he just does. Anyway.
And I think another interesting thing, I mean, we could probably pull lots of cringe headlines from him, but I think there's even a more interesting point to him. So, we got this general, like, fucking, again, this looks generic. It doesn't look anything weird. And a lot of his articles, actually, the title doesn't mean a whole lot. Like the most recent one, Paul Atreides rides Shah Hadid in the first trailer for Dune Part 2. Doesn't mean anything. But what's interesting is, okay, so this was today. 1, 2, 3, 4. So he's done 4 articles today. Yesterday he did 1, 2, 3, 4. He's done 4 articles yesterday. And this is a lot of how these guys game the algorithm. They just pump out content. Quality doesn't matter. Just pump out content. Non-fucking stop.
What does Florence Pugh's breast exposing her breasts have to do with anything, right? Like,
I didn't even notice that title.
But that was that was from last year.
Yeah, I remember that.
Wait, can you just click on a random one? Because I just want to see like the length of one.
Well, here we're talking about this one. Let's see.
So
Lots of pictures. Holy
pictures
crap.
and quotes and shit.
Oh,
it's pretty fucking long, right?
Yeah.
It's been pumping up 4 of these a day.
Because the thing is, I used to work for a website, and I know, as far as search engine optimization, you need at least 300 words to begin to optimize an article. So like you can't just write a 50-word article and expect it to do well in the Google algorithm or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, and that's the thing. Just like with Cosmic Book News, this guy, or maybe he's got somebody working for him or whatever, because there are companies that do this. He knows SEO. That's the main thing. Like, if you understand how to optimize your stuff for the Facebook and various social media, that's probably where a lot of their traffic comes from, is Facebook. You can do pretty well,
Yeah, but this is essentially the guy who's behind a lot of the stuff we cover. It's almost kind of scary. And lots of things like we could note the fact that, like, his YouTube channel has half my subscribers pretty much. A lot of this stuff that, like, the biggest thing he has is this website. That's about it. Like, a lot of his other stuff isn't really that popular. So it's almost seems like he's like a small little guy, but like he is behind so much of the stuff we have to deal with.
Yeah.
And
so when we say that, like, essentially what the anti-fandom is pushing is not just, they're just against being woke, that's all, this stuff too woke. No, they're literally pushing theocratic fascism on their YouTube channel, much like their the YouTube trailer. This is how they describe their content. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, Bounding into Comics is a news and entertainment website with a focus on comic book movies and TV. We routinely cover Marvel Studios, DC Comics, Star Wars, Star Trek, Ghostbusters, Disney, and more. Not only do we look at comic book movies and TV, but we also touch on the latest in anime and video games. We cover everything from the Rising
of the Shield Hero.
Yeah, the Shield Hero and Dragon
Ball.
I should probably just full screen it so I can read it better. To the latest video games from Blizzard, EA, Ubisoft, Nintendo, and others. We host weekly YouTube live stream called Bounding Live, where we discuss the current news and entertainment and routinely feature guests. Bounding Live airs on Wednesdays at 9 p.m. We also host a rotating review show where we are currently reviewing Cowboy Bebop. The show normally airs every Friday at 7 p.m. We also routinely upload. So, actually, I don't know if I've ever seen them upload a movie trailer. Although, if you look into their early stuff, they do just have movie clips on here. Some of their most popular videos on this website or this channel are actually, I think it's a clip from Iron Man 3. But yeah, no, it's on the surface. If you don't dive into this, on the surface, this looks like comic book news.
Yeah.
And it's anything but.
I mean, and if anybody wants to let them know about it, you can. There's the email. So this thing that I was curious about, routinely upload the newest movie trailers through our license with the EPK TV. Well, what the hell is that? And I finally just kind of found something that's describes what it is. Because if you just search for EPK, you get electronic press kit. And that is actually what it is. So it's just a company that creates electronic press kits. And so they are a web portal providing promotional materials for the film industry. And I just wonder if they, would be cool with the stuff that they're pushing through. I don't know. Curious.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's just a quick little while I was looking into this. So at the bottom of the fucking Flash thing, the whole Flash groomer thing where they misgender and dead name Nicole Maines. At the bottom, it's the same goddamn guy, Bishop Burbage or whoever. This guy is an expert on trans science.
Yeah, he doesn't like them. So
this is pure propaganda. It's hateful. It's disgusting.
So, what kind of content on YouTube do you think John F. Trent, after everything we just learned about him, he would promote? What channels do you think are his favorite channels? Right?
Probably actual fandom.
Definitely, yeah.
I mean, Chris Stuckman, Red Letter Media.
Critical Drinker has literally a whole series on like why modern movies suck, and it has every single you just go look at the playlist.
The points are all there.
It's like men being like beaten down.
He's saying basically Critical Drinker has a playlist that just, man, it speaks to this John F. Trent, who is a fucking theocratic fascist. Anyway,